Cubers, in this video we are going to learn how to solve an FTO. Now I know there's a few other videos on YouTube about solving the FTO, but with the release of the new Sheng, I thought to myself, right, let's learn how to solve it and just see what the hype's about. And whilst the videos are good, I just couldn't really get my head around how the puzzle worked, and I had to actually sit down and use the pamphlet. I couldn't follow the videos. So I've sat down, I've followed the pamphlet, I've learned how to solve it. I can solve it in, don't know, a couple of minutes now, which, as I only started yesterday, isn't too bad, I don't think. But yeah, so this isn't to say the other videos are bad, it's just I couldn't follow along with it for whatever reason it may be. It's not in my sort of learning style. I need to understand how the puzzle works and the moves I'm doing, sort of why I'm doing them. So what I'm going to do is, before we get started, I'm going to show you the two moves we really need to know to solve this. There's only two, I say two moves, two algorithms. I'll show you both of them, and I'll show you what the pieces are doing, why we're doing it, and hopefully that will build the foundation of, so later on when we get to the actual moves, when we have to do them, you'll understand why we're doing it. If you keep an eye on this piece with the logo, we've got an anti-clockwise rotation and a clockwise rotation. That's it. There's two algorithms we need to know. Let's start with this one. So what we're going to do is the right face. This is going to move it anti-clockwise. Take note where the logo is. It's up here. Now, as you can see, these are edges. So the white and purple edge, white and blue edge, white and red edge, they've all rotated anti-clockwise. So the purple one has come here and the red one has come down here. But not only that, the triangles in the middle have all gone anti-clockwise. So when we do the anti-clockwise move, which we just did, it's just going to move the triangles and the edges on that layer in an anti-clockwise rotation. Exactly the same, if we use the left-hand layer, we go towards us, then we turn the top layer. That's going to be clockwise. So the algorithm for a clockwise rotation is L, U, L prime, U, L, U, L prime, U. That's a clockwise rotation. And then anti-clockwise is R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime. Now we've got those two algorithms down, what we're going to do is give the puzzle a scramble and just see how we solve it. Okay, so in step one, what we're going to do is solve the corners. So let's just go over what the pieces are. The actual tips of the puzzle are corners, and we've got 2, 4, 6. So we've got 6 corners we need to solve. Then we've got edges, which are the 2 colour pieces. So here we've got orange and blue, here we've got white and blue, and here we've got grey and red. These are edges. And then you've got the single colour pieces, which are triangles, white, orange, green. So we've got corners, which have 4 colours. We've got edges with 2 colours and triangles with a single colour. We're going to solve in step 1 the corners, in step 2 the triangles, and in step 3 the edges. So all we want to do is solve all of our corners, and to do this we've already got 2 white ones next to each other and they're the right way around. So we've got white on top and purple facing us. If, however, we had this, it would be wrong because we've got purple and red. So all you want to do is, using the bottom layer, we need to get all of the whites to the top. And to do that, let's just break them apart so that, let's start like this. So we've got one single white piece on the top layer. Always hold this white piece on the top, and what we want to do is look around to find where our other white piece is. So I've got one down here, and I notice if I bring that up, it does actually match. So that's absolutely fine. We'll keep it as is. And another one here, oh, funny enough, I can just turn that straight up. Really, this step is very intuitive. So that is bringing all the whites to the top. There's not really much I can say about it. It's really simple just to get the corners in. What I would say is just always hold it with a point at the back. So here we've got 2 corners towards us and 1 point, or 1 corner at the back. And this is going to be R, and this is going to be L, and then this is going to be U. That is pretty much how we're going to hold it throughout the whole of this video. Once you've got this, what we want to do is tilt it back ever so slightly so that this front face sort of becomes more on the top. And we want to look at this orange corner and this grey corner, or this orange piece here and this grey piece here. Rotate the bottom layer, so this one, until this grey and this orange are the same colour. So if I go here, we've got orange and grey, they're not the same colour. Rotate it again, we've got grey and grey, so they are the same colour, which means all you need to do is go back to your whites on top, and we are going to do R, L prime, R prime, L. And what that's going to do is it's going to rotate or orientate all of the yellows so that they are on the bottom face. Now you might just have to do an alignment, you might just have to rotate the bottom layer, but you should, hopefully, if you followed along, have whites on top. All of the adjacent corners should be the same colour, so reds, blues, and the bottom layer should be all yellow, and you might just have to do an alignment move, like I say, to match up the final corner. So if we look around the FTO, all whites, all the corners are red, all the corners are green. Whatever side we go to, the corners are all solved. So that is step one. Okay, in step two, we're going to solve the triangle pieces. So what we're going to do is just try and get a few of them up first to the white layer, just to make it easier. And in this, all we're going to move is the slices. So what we can see is here, we've got one of the triangles. Sorry, I'll try and keep the whites on top at all times, just so I'm not... In another video I saw the guy was doing this and I got lost. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So what we're going to do is always hold white on the top, and I can see down here we've got a white triangle. Now this white triangle I can just move straight up, and that won't affect any of the corners. All the corners are still intact. Purples, greens, everything is still intact. This one here is a little bit more tricky, and annoyingly this one is also a little bit more tricky. We can't just put them straight in. What we're going to have to do to finish the white triangles, so these two grey bits need to be white. What we're going to have to do is do the rotation, anti-clockwise or clockwise, doesn't quite matter, but we need to rotate this white piece down to here where the orange is, or down to here where the green is, so that we can just insert it like we did that piece. And the only way to do that is to bring it to the top face. So here I am going to rotate the puzzle, and we're going to do the anti-clockwise rotation to put it where the orange piece is, and then we can just rotate it up. I hope that makes sense. I'll show you now, and then what we'll do is at the end of the video we'll do one more solve that's a little bit quicker. So now we're going to do the anti-clockwise rotation. And now we're going to go back to having the whites on the top. And now you notice this triangle can just be moved straight up, like so. So we've got our corners are still solved everywhere, and we've got two triangles now on the top. So let's look around for our other triangle here with the logo. What we're going to do is hold that on the top layer, like this, and then we need to do the same anti-clockwise movement to get it here so that we can just place it straight up. There we go. Now we're going to flip back to this orientation with whites on top. Now notice if we move it up, we're just going to lose the other triangle piece, but what we can do is just do a U prime, we can move it up, and then do a U again just to align the corners. So what we've done is we've done our corners and we've now done our triangles. I'm sorry if I'm going really slow, but this is, I just want to make it as clear as possible and try and make people understand why we're doing the moves we're doing. Hopefully it's making sense. Now what we want to do is the rest of the edges around the whole puzzle. I'm sort of doing it a little bit of a slower way at the moment, just to be, I guess, thorough. So the method I'm using is a little bit maybe slower than rotating and just doing every face willy-nilly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the red face, then the blue face, then the purple face, and then we'll do orange, green, grey, and then obviously yellow will be done because all the others are done. So what I'm going to do is, starting with the red face, we want to solve the triangles, but we want to solve these two top triangles. Then we're going to go blue, top two triangles, and then purple, top two triangles. So you see one purple triangle is already in the right position. That's brilliant. And the other one's over here, and the other one's over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to start with red. So if we rotate this red piece up, if we do a clockwise rotation, this red piece will go where the purple one is. So let's do that now. There we go. Now, if we move this triangle piece in, like that, and we do another clockwise rotation, this red piece will go where the purple one is, and this red piece will go where this red one is. So let's do that. And go back to white on top. So, two red triangles, they are solved, that's fine. We can move on to blue. Now, funny enough, blue has actually sort of solved itself whilst we were doing red. So let's just do a clockwise rotation. So we've got the red triangle solved on the top layer, blue triangle solved on the top layer, and now we just want to solve the purple. Now, what we will do here is move, I notice here we've got a triangle, a purple triangle. Let's just move that one in, so like so. Now, if I do another clockwise rotation, the purple will go here, that purple will go here. There we go. So what we've done, if I just offset that layer a little bit, we've kept our whites on top, we've put the reds here, the red triangles in, sorry, we've put the blue triangles in, and we've put the purple triangles in. Now what we want to do is just finish off the blue, red and purple triangles. So this blue one, we can just move in like so. We've actually got blue and purple finished now, so that's quite handy. And what we want to do here is we're going to have, I think, 2 or 3 cases off the top of my head. So what we want to do is the red is down here, but we need it up here where the yellow one is. It's actually, if you think about this, it's really simple. So if the red triangle is this side, all you want to do is when you move it up, you want to make sure that you're kicking another red piece out. So here, when we move it up, this red triangle is being pushed to the back. I hope that makes sense, but when we bring it up, you'll notice all it's done is replace that red triangle. Now, if we do an anti-clockwise rotation, the yellow triangle will be where this red triangle is, and these 2 red triangles will move to here. Then, when we do our unset up move, we'll have 3 reds on top. I hope that makes sense. But let's go ahead and do it and I'll show you what I mean. So we've put the reds over here. Now we can bring this red back. We've still got white, we've still got blue, we've still got purple, and now we've got red. So what we're going to do is now move on to, let's do green. It doesn't really matter. This is exactly the same case. We're holding green on the top. We've got a green triangle down here, and it's going to kick out this green triangle. So kick it out the way. We're going to do anti-clockwise. And you see we've replaced it with the grey, and then we're going to bring the original green back. Everything is still exactly the same. We've still got white, we've still got red, we've still got blue, we've still got purple. Now we've got a little bit more of the green face done. Now, here we've got the other case. So holding green on top, we've got it on the left-hand side of this bottom face now. All we want to do is when we go up, make sure it's kicking this one out of the way, which it is. And now we're going to do another anti-clockwise move. And then we can bring that one back. Perfect. So now we've got the green face done as well. We've got white, purple, green, red, blue. So grey is actually the only face left with orange. All we've got to do is swap these 2 pieces. What we can't do here is move it straight up because there isn't a piece in the way. But if we do a U move, now it's going to kick a grey piece out. We can do an anti-clockwise rotation. And just bring that one back down. And don't forget, what you've got to do is realign because we did the setup move. There is one more case that we haven't gone over. It's when we've got, let's say this is the yellow face we're doing. we've got two triangles on the yellow face, and we've got a triangle here. So it's in neither of these two spots where it can easily be moved up. All we want to do is do either an anti-clockwise or clockwise. My finger moved the wrong way then. But you want to do either a clockwise or an anti-clockwise rotation to get it in either one of these two spots, and then do that move. So I'm going to do an anti-clockwise move. And hold yellow on top because it's the face we're working with. And all we got to do is a slice move, making sure it's pushing another yellow triangle out of the way. So slice. What way is the purple got to go? It's got to go clockwise. And then bring it back. There we go. So they are the cases you've got. You've got either triangle is on the right, triangle is on the left, or triangle is at the top. If it's at the top, just do either an anti-clockwise or a clockwise move to put it in the bottom, and away you go. That was the triangles completely finished. Now we've got to do the edges. So this is step 3. In step 3, we're going to solve the edge pieces. And to do that, I'm actually going to start with the white face. So hold white on the top, and let's just find out what pieces we need. So white and blue is already solved. We need to solve white and red, and we need to solve white and, we need to solve white and purple here, and we need to solve white and red. Really, really easy. All we need to do is do the clockwise and anti-clockwise rotations to rotate the pieces in. How do we get this white and red piece over here? Now, blue is already solved, so what we could do is bring blue out of the way, rotate red round, and then put the blue back in. That's probably the easiest way, and that's probably the way we're going to do it. So, tell you what, let's go ahead and just do that. So if we hold blue on the top, let's bring blue out of the way, the blue and white edge, let's bring that out. So let's do an anti-clockwise rotation. That's brought the blue and white out. Now we can rotate the blue and red piece in where it should be using a clockwise rotation. Using an anti-clockwise rotation. There we go. And now don't forget to put the white and blue edge back in by doing a clockwise. Hope that makes sense. All we did was brought the blue and white one out, rotated the white and red one anti-clockwise to go in, and then did another clockwise rotation from the blue face to bring the white and blue edge back in. Now, how do we get this purple and white edge up here? Best way I can see is to do an anti-clockwise rotation to put it here, and then another anti-clockwise rotation to put it in here. So holding green at the top, let's do an anti-clockwise rotation. There we go. Now, if we hold purple on the top and do another anti-clockwise rotation, it should go here. There we go. So that is the white face completely solved. Hopefully you could follow along, hopefully it wasn't too tricky. It gets a little bit messy when the whites are on the bottom layer, because then you've got to do loads of moves, anti-clockwise and whatever rotations to solve this layer. But at least this is done. So what I'm going to do is turn it over now so that the white face is on the bottom, and I'm going to slightly offset the top two layers. And what we'll notice is that we've got 3 faces that have 3 edges that can be cycled. And what I mean by that is we've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces, but only 3 of them can be cycled now because we don't want to interrupt the white layer. So hope that makes sense. Here we've got the orange and purple, orange and blue, and purple and green. That can all be cycled. Whereas here we've got red and green, purple and orange, and red and white. That can't be cycled because the red and white is already solved. So what we want to do is solve the green face because we've got the 3 edges. We want to solve the orange face because we've got 3 edges. And then we want to solve the grey face because we've got 3 edges. How do we do it? That is the million-dollar question. Actually, this is a perfect example of how we do it. We use the top layer to sort of set up our pieces, and we want them in this configuration where we've got the colour that needs to be here, so grey and red, we want it in this slot, and then we want to put the colour that wants to be here in this top slot. And then what we do is, so here we were just doing an anti-clockwise move for the grey and red to go here, the grey and blue to go down here. I'm just going to do that, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. We'll actually go ahead and do one. So we want an anti-clockwise move. That's solved them two edges. So let's go ahead and do the green face. So we've got green and purple up here. If we were to rotate it clockwise now, it would be solved, and to solve the green and red one, we would have to knock this piece out. It would just get a little bit messy. However, if we rotate this piece now, anti-clockwise to put it here, then we put the green and red piece up top. We could then do another anti-clockwise move to move the green and purple round and the green and red down in one move. So let's do that. Let's do an anti-clockwise move. Go back to yellow on top. Now you notice it's over here, green and purple. If we do an anti-clockwise move, it'll be solved. So if we set up the green and red piece up here, that when we do the anti-clockwise move to solve this piece, the green and red comes down and gets solved too. So it's over here. How do we get this piece over here where we want it? We do an anti-clockwise rotation. There we go. Now, when we do an anti-clockwise with the green on top, we're going to go green and purple here, so it's solved, and green and red down here, so that's solved. Perfect. So, green is solved, and grey is still solved. Now we've got orange. Hopefully you're following along, hopefully it's clear. Please let me know in the comments below, and if I'm going a little bit too fast, or how I could improve this video for future puzzles, then it'd be really handy to know. So what we've got is orange and blue wants to go down here. So if we rotate it anti-clockwise, then we'll bring the orange and purple over, and then we could do another anti-clockwise rotation to solve both. So anti-clockwise. Popped it here. Now, when we bring the orange and purple over here, and we do another anti-clockwise move, the orange and blue will be solved, and the orange and purple will then be solved too. So let's do an anti-clockwise move from this top layer. There we go. And what we're going to do now is move the orange and blue in and the orange and purple down, and that is anti-clockwise. The way the puzzle works, once you've solved all of the bottom layer, and now we've solved the orange, the green, and the grey, the only pieces that can be unsolved are the edges on the top layer. And if we notice here, we've just got one single anti-clockwise or clockwise rotation. So in my case, we've got an anti-clockwise, and that is solved. There's a lot of anti-clockwise moves I've found. So the amount of solves I've done on this thing at the moment, a lot of the moves have been anti-clockwise. Not too sure why. I don't know if there's like statistics where it's most of the time you've got an anti-clockwise move. No idea. But yeah, I've just found that a lot of them have been anti-clockwise. So that is how you solve an FTO. I'll do one more scramble, and we'll do one more very, very, very quick solve. Well, it won't be very quick, I'll talk through it. I won't be going as slow as I did in that video, or in that section of the video. Okay, so mostly scrambled. Well, very scrambled to be fair. Okay, so we've got a scrambled FTO. We're going to solve the corners, so white's on top. I notice we've got a white down here. Let's just move it round and up. And we've got another white here, just move that up. Then what I want to do is, holding the whites on top, rotate the bottom layer until this grey piece and this green piece match. So green and green, R, L prime, R prime, L, and align the bottom. There we go. So all corners are done. Now we want to solve the white triangles on top. Two of them are done. This piece I can't, so I need to move it anti-clockwise or clockwise. There we go. Back to whites on top. Insert it, realign. Now here I'm going to do an anti-clockwise move to put these two blues up top. There we go. Purple, I'm going to do actually, red. Let's do a clockwise move. Purple, clockwise move. We've got a purple here, so let's put that in and do another clockwise move. That's that whole top layer done with triangles and corners. So now we've got purple, let's put that purple in, do a clockwise move, bring it down. Red solved, blue, blue on top. This blue is in the wrong place, so I'm going to go anti-clockwise. We'll move it up, do a clockwise rotation, move it down. You probably can't follow along too much with this, but it gives you the general gist of what goes through my head. Okay, so here what we want to do is the grey one, we want to bring it up, we want to do a clockwise rotation to replace it with the orange. Bring the grey back down. Here the grey is in the wrong spot, so we need to do anti-clockwise again. Now we can't just put it in, we need to make sure we're knocking a grey out of the way. Now we're doing anti-clockwise. Bring it down and realign. So that's all of our corners and triangles done. Now we're going to go to edges. So what I notice here is if I bring this up, if I bring this white and red piece up in one move, I need to then go clockwise. So if I do an anti-clockwise move to put this purple here, now I can put this red up here. And annoyingly, this blue is in the wrong spot. So if I do another anti-clockwise rotation, this purple will go here, this red will go here. I can then bring this blue up, do another anti-clockwise rotation and solve all of the top face. Hope that made sense. But once we bring this blue one up, now we do one more anti-clockwise, and the white face is solved. I'm going to now turn that over and I'm going to focus on the green. So here we've got green and purple, that just needs to be moved over here. So I need a green and red one to go up top. Green and red is down here, so let's just do anti-clockwise. There we go. And now a clockwise. And from here we want to go anti-clockwise. That solved the green. Okay, here we've got orange and blue, so if I bring it down here, I'll put the orange and purple here and then put them in. So anti-clockwise, orange and purple, anti-clockwise. Now another anti-clockwise. That solved the oranges. Now we've just got the grey. So grey and red is already solved, which isn't very good. We don't want that. So if we move it clockwise to here, brilliant. Now if we put the grey and blue here, we can now move the orange and red back. The grey and red back. So, it's actually just a standard normal cycle. That will solve the top layer. So, I understand you probably didn't follow along very well with that last section of the video, but it just creates different cases that you might not have seen in the first video, and also what goes through my head as I'm solving it. But that is how you solve a dying Sheng FTO. This is the new magnetic version. These are in stock at ukspeedcubes.co.uk. or KewbzUK. Hopefully it was easy to follow. If it wasn't, please do let me know. If you have any tips on how we can make the next video better, or any other cubes you'd like to see a tutorial of, then let us know in the comments below. But thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one.